In 1891, the Qing Empire decided to make the coastal Tsingdao a defensive base against naval attacks and began to improve its fortifications. Imperial German naval officers observed and reported this activity during the formal survey of Jihao Bay in May 1897. Subsequently, German troops seized and occupied the fortifications. The unmodernized and ineffective Qing Empire were forced to concede the area to Germany the following year, and the Kishu Bay concessions, as it is better known than Tsingdao, existed from 1889 to 1914, with an area of 552 square kilometers or 136,000 acres or 230 square miles. It was located in the imperial province of Shandong, or also known as Shantung or Shandong, on the southwest coast of Shandong Peninsula in northern China. Jiangsu was romanized to Kashua or Kanshu or Kayashu in English and Kayashu in German. Qingdao was its administrative center. The so-called Market Street or Market Street was nothing more than the old main street of the Chinese village of Tsingdao, and the buildings lining it were the former homes of fishermen and farmers. Having sold their property, they resettled their homes and fields in the village further east, in Lanmain, China. Upon gaining control of the area, the Germans outfitted the improvised fishing village into Tsingdao with wide streets, solid housing areas, a government building, electrification throughout the whole city, a sewer system, and safe drinking water supply. A rarity in large parts of Asia at this time and even later into the 1940s. The area had the highest school density and the highest per capita student enrollment in all of China, with primary, secondary, and even vocation schools funded by the Imperial German Treasury and the Protestant and Roman Catholic missions. Commercial interests established a German brewery in Tsingdao in 1903 and would later become the world-famous Tsingdao Brewery. The German culture and commercial influences extended into other areas of the Tsingdao province, including the establishment of diverse commercial enterprises. Identified by the German authorities as a strategically important port, Tsingdao was administered by the Imperial Department of the Navy, or the Reichsmarine, rather than the Imperial Colonial Office, or the Reichskolonialmacht. The growing Imperial German Navy based in the Far East Quadrant there allowed the warships to conduct operations throughout the Western Pacific, especially with German Samoa and German New Guinea. Beginning in January 1889, the Marine of the Tertiary Battalion was based in Tsingdao, constructed in the Zhejiang Railway that began on the 23rd of September 1899 and was completed by 1904 because of the Boxer Rebellion. Before the outbreak of World War I, the ships of the German naval forces under Admiral Count von Maximilian von Spee were located in the Central Pacific colonies on routine missions. The fleet then tried to rendezvous to the Mariana Islands to plan the transit back to Germany, rather than be trapped in the Pacific by the more powerful and numerous allied fleets of Britain, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, and of course, Oceanian colonies and possessions. After a minor British naval attack on the German colony of Tsingdao in 1914, Japanese Empire troops occupied the city and the surrounding province of Tsingdao, Tsingdao, and Shanxi in the siege of Tsingtao. After Japan's declaration of war on Germany, in accordance with the Anglo-Japanese alliance of 1905 and 1906, China protested Japan's violation of her neutrality, but it was not able to interfere with the military operations. The decision of the Paris Peace Conference and the Versailles Treaty negotiations not to restore Chinese rule over the previous foreign concessions in Tsingtao after the Great War triggered the May 4th movement on May 4th, 1919, an anti-imperialist, nationalist, and sometimes even communist and cultural identity in China for China. And the May the 4th movement would obviously start the rise of communism, the Shangji clique, and of course, the warlord era of China and the Kuomintang, which would become Taiwan. Two Chinas, or three Chinas, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and the People's Republic of China. But those are stories, controversies. But those are stories and controversies. But those are stories and controversies and three Chinas to talk about for another day, especially with World War II. But don't worry, World War II is coming soon. And after the Axis, we might do China, for sure. But, Anyway, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. But before we go, the father of modern China has something to say about Tsingdao. Because Germany, really, even though it was as cruel as other European masters, Germany really invested a lot into their colonies. Tsingdao, Samoa, New Guinea, Southwest Africa, Windhoek, Cameroon, the Micronesians, German East Africa, and I think that's it. The concessions in Shandong, and yeah, that's about it. Poor Germany. Anyway, here's a quote from the father of China himself, Sun Yat-sen. Wuhan Fiu, Xinzhong, Xixing, Xi Zhongzhu, Wilhe Zhejiang, Zhifang. I am impressed. The city is a true model for China's future. Sun Yat-sen. And there you go. I actually said it twice. I don't know, it copied and pasted twice, but sorry about that. But there you go. Tsingdao. The China's future, there's Tsingdao beer, which we'll talk about in the beer episode, and of course the urbanization of Tsingdao. But those are stories. World War II is a tale for another day, and of course, this only lasted for 16 years, so not much history. So the Boxer Rebellion we might cover, but might be an episode for China itself, a 2-part episode for China, and yeah, there you go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and I'll see you for Togoland tomorrow, my brothers. Learn something.